Everyone, and welcome back to another interesting episode of Historical Recreations. Today we'll be taking this dollar store party crown and completely transforming it into something worthy of a real king's head. Join me. And welcome back to the prop shop. Today the first thing we're going to be doing is unbagging our plastic crown, and we're going to inspect it to find out what it's like. First of all, these plastic gemstones are definitely coming off, but I'm also thinking about some modification. I don't particularly like those on there either, those little additive circles. We might want to remove those. And I'm getting silver all over me from whatever is on there. We have to also deal with all of these divots, so we might want to create a new exterior for the crown. So let's today remove these divots from the top by cutting them off with a pair of scissors. Take off these gemstone stickers, and let's start coating this down with an excellent new form of acrylic paint. Let's go. These are coming off like a dream. Always be careful, scissors are sharp. And you know what? I always tell anyone who watches me, save all this stuff. You never know how it comes into play later on in your prop making. And let's take off now these sticker diamonds. This pop, pop, pop. Pop, pop, pop. We on transformation level number 1. We always want to strip things down to their basic elements. So let's now hot glue our crown the right way and lock it in place. I had done exactly as I said I would. I have sealed that completely shut with hot glue, so that does not open up at any single time while we are in performance or at cosplay or whatever we're going to be doing. And today I'm going to be using some air dried clay. And it doesn't matter what color you use, because you're going to fill in, and we're going to paint right over these divots or marks or whatever these things are in the crown. I want to completely fill them in, and I would like to have them solid. So we're going to have a solid piece of metal on there instead of having that like the cookie cutter pressed out look. So let's now do that to the 6 of the circles. Now that I've got all of my divots filled in with air dried clay and got my hot glue sealed up there so it's locked in place, let's this dry for 24 hours and we'll work on this tomorrow. It's been 24 hours and our clay is dried. Today we are now going to do level 1 or part 1 of our transformation. We are using today a black acrylic 999, which is one of my favorite colors here, and I'm going to be applying this completely to the whole entire surface of our crown. And I'm going to make sure that my brush leaves as much texture. As you can see, I'm daubing it on to give a metal finish as if it was poured. So let's dop this and completely coat the whole entire crown. Wow, it looks better already. So let's coat our surface of our crown completely black and see what it looks like. And right now we have our crown, which has been completely covered in black. I'm letting this dry completely, but look at the difference already. The transformation is already there. We have a base now to work on. Okay, so let's let this dry completely and we'll start on the rest of our tutorial. It's the part that everyone's been waiting for. What color is this crown going to be? Today's magic lineup today is a rich gold number 997, a black number 999, a silver number 995, and also a deep yellow permanent number 4. They're all acrylic. I'm using a very soft brush, number 12 in the 707 series, and you have a little bit of water over here. So let's now blend the correct color up right here. So today's base color today, I'm using the gold, the black, the silver, and the yellow. We're going to be working into our gold today. I'm going to dull this down now with a black to make an antique color, and I'm going to be using a dot of the silver to boost it to create more of a metallic. Oh, I love it already. Oh my goodness. I'm going to add a little bit more silver to that and a slight dot of the yellow. Check out this beautiful, beautiful antique gold we've created. Now, amazingly, I have been inspired by a lot of the Byzantine and type of encrusted diamond and rubied type of art from the Byzantine era. So this is a very important color to add to our crown. So right now, let's start painting up our crown. Now when you're doing this, I'm using a very soft brush. I want to just lightly touch the surface, yet if you can see what I'm doing, I am leaving a lot of the black to show through. We want the texture to come through. We want the shadows. We want that illusion that it is a polished metal. Beautiful. Okay. And I'm going to surround these parts right here because we're going to incorporate them as gemstones into our design. Let's now do a patina wash on this and age it even more. For our patina wash, for our second coat, we're going to be using a naphtha red number 615, an olive green number 639, a silver number 995. We're going to be using, again, our black number 999, a titanium white number 901 mixed together to create a really great patina. Let's make that. Okay, again, for our lineup today, we're using the naphtha red, the olive green, the silver, the black, and the white, and we're going to be blending them together. I'm going to be working primarily with my silver as the base. I'm going to be adding some of my white to that to lighten that down. Okay, that is going to create more of an aluminum tin color. I'm going to be adding our black now to dull that down. We'll be adding our green and our white, red to it. Now, if you know anything about color mixology, you will know that green and red together. Look at this. Look at the gold that's being created with the green being added there. It's going to blend in really well with our crown. Green and red make brown. And I would love to create that corroded look there. Love to create that corroded look overlay to our crown. A little bit more green to that. We are there. Bingo. A beautiful patina has been created. Okay, now let's brush this on. So I moved my palette up here. I've got my material over here. We are going to create the patina overlay. Just dry brush it on certain areas. Don't go crazy. just lightly apply, dry brushing it to the surface, because this is going to create the aging that we need. You can see how it's adding to the surface. Beautiful. Comes our third layer. We're going to be adding this today. I'm going to be using a dot of our black and also again our soft brush with some water, and I'm going to be creating a slurry. You can see how I'm doing this. You want to have it to a ratio of about I would say 1 to 1 here. And what we're going to do now is we're going to add that to our crown. So now that I've done this, we're going to now apply this over our crown. What this is going to do is just going to age it even more. Just layer it on, slop it on there. Don't wipe it off, let it drip down and dry off by itself. Okay, let that dry. Metal. Alright, now comes our part that we've been waiting for to start building our gemstones and start creating our Byzantine look. Now what I had done is I cut out a little tiny sheet of plastic here, and I want to trace this area right in here that allows me to know how much space I have to create and fill our crown. It doesn't have to be perfect. I'm also working with that right there, so all of the gemstones can fit within that particular area right there. I've been dying since I opened this YouTube channel to show the arsenal of stuff that I have collected over the years. Go down to your local craft store, and if you don't have any gemstone stuff like this, just get some. They're really inexpensive. These are acrylics here, and I have them all kinds of different colors, and I actually have a tutorial video on my YouTube channel how to change these into any color you need, and we're actually going to be needing them because I really love this particular gemstone right there. That looks pretty impressive. You'll also see we have half pearls over here. These are half pearl stickers. These are sapphire gemstones we have. These are completely decorative type of stickers that you can apply on stuff. And I'm going to show you this. Whenever you have prop making and you have jewelry left over from projects and stuff like that, save all that stuff. Don't throw it away. You can use anything for your prop making, cosplay and creating stuff like that. Look at this gemstone. Doesn't this just illuminate the imagination? I mean, so that's what we have to work with today, and I'm going to be creating some new types of gemstones for our area that we have. So let's plan some stuff out here. I think I'm going to use some pearls today. About my lucky day, you're probably wondering what this big mess above this is with all of these strings attached to this. I am a lucky boy. The reason is that these were left over from a Tudor King Henry VIII costume that is a part of my collection for cosplay, and these were taken off because I thought they were not appropriate for the costume at the time because it was revamped. But look at what we have here, these oval gemstones that fit beautifully within our space. And also I can actually apply one of the half pearl stickers here. We got all this stuff from the dollar store. I can apply the pearl up here at the top. So what we need to do today is we need to get, let's see, 6 times 2 is 12 of these red gemstones, plus get 6 of these large gemstones and color them, and also build the casing for the mount on the crown. So let's do it all right now. So now to color our gemstones, we have two different types of techniques that we can use. Permanent magic marker technique, or we can use the glue and food coloring technique. So I'm going to use the glue and food coloring technique for the larger stones, and I'm also going to be using the permanent magic marker ones to darken the gemstones that we have here. Okay, so I'm going to demonstrate this a little bit more closely. Here I have my black permanent magic marker. All I'm doing now is taking it from a ruby to a garnet just by doing a couple lines on there. The red color still comes through beautifully, but we're darkening the reflective value by cutting off the light. On to our large gemstones. With the large gemstones, you also have two techniques you can use. You could use the red permanent magic marker to create them red, and we can also use the black permanent magic marker one, or we can actually use this method here. So you're going to use a white, blue, and food coloring of your choice, whatever color you want to create the gemstones. And I'm going to put about 2 drops of food coloring in there, and I'm going to blend this really well. Now I can tell you right now that's going to go a shade lighter than that, so we need to, oh sorry, it's over here, up our game a little bit here, and I'm going to go 4 drops on this one because I've got 6 gemstones to do, and I'm going to be blending my glue with food coloring beautifully. Okay, now when you're doing or working with glue, make absolutely sure you wash your brushes very well in lukewarm water first and then in cold water, because you will be throwing away a $10 brush if you do not wash them very well here. And we're just going to be painting up these gemstones like this. You can see I'm using the tweezers over here quite nicely. Layer it up, slather them up, and let them dry. And once you let these dry, you'll see what they look like. And then we can transform them into a little bit of a darker gemstone for our crown. Now, while our gemstones are drying, let's now use some air-dried clay. The brand I'm using here is called Amos. This comes in a wide assortment of different colors. It really doesn't matter what color you're using. I just so happen to be using black. You can order this on Amazon. You can order this on different sites that sell air-dried clays. I love it. It's a children's clay. And all we're doing today is we're creating a finding. There, look at this. Put that stone right in there. Just shape it to size. Now what we need to do is we need to create 12 of these. Roll up a bit of clay, put the pearl button right in there, boom, you've created a finding. So now let's create a set of these for as many as we need for our crown. Now what we have going on is we have our red gemstones are now drying. They need to dry a lot longer than this to create the nice red color that we need. And we have put findings around all of our garnet stones now, and also I have created 6 pearl pieces that are also with the finding inlays. Let's let all of this dry for 24 hours and we'll see what it looks like tomorrow. Added gemstone material. I'm using today a Napthal Red Light 615. Put out a generous glop out there. And I'm also using an acrylic black number 999. We're going to mix it in to create an illusionary color that will match our garnets. So let's start blending our darks into our lights here. You're going to see how this is going to work. Create that garnet color that we desire. A little more back. There. Now with our crown, let's start painting in these stones. Making sure to be very careful around all the edging and the findings that are already on there. Good, very good here. I'm going to do all of them and let you see what they look like when they're done. And due to the fact that it is so warm today, this acrylic paint is drying at the speed of light. We are going to do a wash now over these stones to make them look a little bit more like they're antiqued. So taking a bit of our water today, making a slurry with our black, just keeping the red and the black flowing together. Here we want a 1-to-1 ratio of the red and the black. Let's color over them. Like we had done with our crown, we put the antique wash over them, darkening the stones up. Just let it dry right on there. Now we have our gemstones that are dried. I'm going to be using also the permanent magic marker today and creating the lines again over our gemstones to darken them and make them more like our other stones that we have put in our crown. I now have a Q-tip and on top of a plastic container I'm going to put a very tiny amount of rubbing alcohol. Drop rubbing alcohol on top of the plastic container. I am wetting my Q-tip and now I'm going to blend that black permanent magic marker color, smooth it out into the stone. So let me go here. And we are almost ready, as soon as this rubbing alcohol dries, to now put our stones into their settings. Now using the same technique that we have done with the previous stones, using the clay, and we're going to build up a base. We want to implant the stone now into a finding. Some of our gemstones. Stick it right in there. Build it up a little bit. Keep it to the shape and the form. And I'm just using a tool and I'm going to create some little bits of design here. Just add a little bit of texture and design. That looks really good there. Can you see those lines? Look at that. And we're going to do all 6 of them like this. I'm going to give you a close-up. So here's a really good close-up now. For stone, we got the lines in there, the ridges. I got 5 more of these to go. So let's do them right now. Once you get all of your stones encased in their findings and your lines created in there just the way you want them, now let them dry 24 hours. Now comes the part you have been waiting for, the assemblage. Today I have my hot glue gun out here. We have all the gemstones in their findings. We have the findings painted up, and we will be applying them now to our crown. So let's now heat up our hot glue and assemble them. I'll call your attention to this particular thing that we had made before. It is the area that we have to work in, and I'm going to be showing you how I will be assembling our gemstones when we put them on our crown in this order. So there's the assemblage. So now let's apply them. Now the final work. This absolutely beautiful crown came together. Now, I need to inform you of something very special. This prop that we had created here at Historical Recreations will be put in an art gallery display in fall called Wuhan Gallery. Gothfully yours, Professor M.